there's no easy answer.
No, you're right, Dan, and with a lot of players, when they're having bad spells, what they tend to do is listen to what everybody's got to say. And 90% of the information is absolutely rubbish. You can see so many players have come down the rankings and they're listening to people, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to do. And sometimes, when you've got a problem, always look for the easy option first. Because sometimes that is the option that'll put you back in,
60.
You know, online for your form. But sometimes you tie yourself up too much. You just got to get up there and just throw darts.
41.
Well, Mervyn King, you mentioned his back problem. He has been struggling with it. No more so than when he was in Veldhoven on the European Tour. He could barely
100.
walk, and yet he managed to get through to the final through 107 average against Michael van Gerwen and still lost that final.
81.
It's actually his third final on the European Tour that he has lost. You kind of get the feeling that if he keeps getting to them, he's going to win one eventually, but then you probably would have thought that about Mervyn King in a major tournament in the PDC. And it just hasn't happened for him.
No, he's been close on a number of occasions, but failed a bit like Terry Jenkins, just not getting over the winning line.
Yeah.
Of course, the longer you go without getting over the winning line, even when you get to a final, it is harder to get there. Where this man, if you give him a sniff for the final, he doesn't pass many up.
Yeah, a three-time world champion. Legend is a term that's often overused in sport.
Well, sorry, Dan, I remember saying at the first Alexandra Palace tournament we had, when John won that, and he beat Kirk Shepherd in the final, and there was people that had flu, the top seeds were falling, and I said to him, said on air that when people are not playing too well, there's one player that always will step up and find a way of winning, and John Part is that player. He reminds me of Germany in this World Cup. No country is outstanding for me, and when that happens, who normally goes on and wins the tournament?
Game shot the first leg, Mervyn King.
And I have to say, I'll back the Germans to win it.
Well, there you go, you heard it here first, folks, as Mervyn King takes out 102 checkout for a 15-dart leg. And ominously for John Part, Mervyn straight in first dart on that double 16. He's one of the best in the world on that little green bit in that part of the board. And if things are going well for him down there, he's going to take some stopping, because he's a big scorer as well when he gets going, Merv. He's got the lot. What has John Part got to try and stop him?
82.
Well, as we talked about the form line earlier on, if you go by the form line, then the consistency of Mervyn King means he should win this about 6-2.
100.
Anything can happen in the game of darts, and as we said, John, with his experience, will dig deep and try and find every single treble 20 he can. As we're finding out right here.
125.
Well, he has tasted success on the European Tour, John Part, which is something that Mervyn's not managed to do. As we said, three-time losing finalist.
134.
But John Part managed to win the first European Tour event of the season last year. Did it the hard way as well. Beat Kim Hybrex, Gary Anderson, Mensur Suljovic, to see how well he can play today, Simon Whitlock, Adrian Lewis, and then he had Stuart Kellett in the final.
In the middle of winter, down in Minehead.
Yeah. The man's from Canada. Surely a bit of inclement weather's not going to be a problem for him.
94.
I think that's possibly what helped him out. He's used to like 20 below at that time of the year in Canada.
Well, he's got down to a finish, but Mervyn King may get a shot at the bullseye here. Well, he could get even better than that. Oh, he's not stayed straight.
106.
Well, even a fat 20 would have given him a shot there. John Part. Vintage John Part takes this out and makes you pay. Maybe we're going to get a glimpse of that vintage right now. Look at this.
Ooh. 129.
Well, the first two were perfect. The third one was some way off in the end.
Yeah, Very disappointed he was there, John. You could see on his face, but
On the second
Mervyn
leg.
doesn't
Mervyn
get him
King.
back to the board to have another crack
Third
at
leg
that
is John
double.
throw first. Game on.
Well, that's a breaker throw for Mervyn King. And you just feel, with John probably being one dart, a throw off scoring power to what Mervyn King is, that he's going to have to
99.
take those big shots out if he's going to win this game.
Winner of this one goes through to the third round to face either Kim Huybrechts, the number 6 seed, the Belgian, or Benito van der Pas, the Dutchman who overcame William O'Connor in a last leg decider yesterday.
100.
Only a year separates these two in age. Mervyn, the senior man, 48 years old compared to Part's 47. And we have seen John Part slip down the rankings. He's still in the top 32, and as we saw last year, winning on the Euro Tour, for example, it's he's still got it in flashes. But Mervyn, incredibly, has been able to maintain his consistency for a long time. He obviously has had his injury problems, and he'll talk freely about how hard he found it following the death of his father. He suffered a slump in his form there, but he's managed to come back,
100.
and he's no spring chicken. It's incredible that he's able to do that and produce at such a consistently high level.
Well, he certainly ain't springing about with that bad back, that's for sure.
138.
But yeah, it is, you know, you talk about consistency, and it is that consistency that has, you know, kept Mervyn in there, and John has just drifted off the top. Of course, then the extra pressure comes in that you're chasing points and you're trying to get into tournaments. Then when you do, you're picking up the big seeds in the early games. But double 4 for now, Part to get that first leg on the board. He's going to get more darts of this, but he doesn't want to mess around with it, which he hasn't done. That'll give him a bit of confidence. A good 15 dart leg from John Part.
$100. $140.
Already seen Vincent van der Voort, Mensel Suljevic, Steve
60.
Beaton, Ronnie Backstadt and Wes Newton through to the last 16. Newton and Beaton, the only 2 seeds, have actually gone through. If we look at John Part here looking to fill it up, and
140.
not quite able to sneak that third one into the red bit.
It's a great start to this fourth leg by John Part. He's against the throat.
140.
He's going to get 6 darts from here, minimum. May get 9. But he needs to find a treble again. That one just a little bit high, having to move to the left to try and pick off the left-hand corner of the treble, which he's done absolutely beautifully.
140.
Yeah, that's really 2 classy darts from John Part. Didn't even think about going for the 19, stayed up there, just moved across to the left.
140.
Oh, great leg of darts this from both men. But a potential 11 darter here for the Canadian, the man they call Darth Maple. Well, it may just be a shot at the bullseye. He got greedy, went for treble 12, missed the big number. Can't go out now, and Mervyn King will be back.
49. Revenue class 61.
Oh, Mervyn's missed. No, he wants 32.
29.
So John Part comes back to level the score up. And this man don't miss too many chances when they come begging.
Game shot on the fourth leg. John Part.
Well, a 14 darter, and John
Leg is
Part
John
has clawed his
first.
way back to parity.
Game on.
That is the breaker throw that he needed.
Two very good legs, 15 and 14 from John
120.
Part. Keeps that sort of consistency up. It's going to be a bit of a shock to this man Mervyn King.
I tell you what,
60.
well, there you can see there, only one leg going above 15 darts. And even that was just a 16. But at the weekend he played some good darts, did John Part. He was beaten 6-5 in the third round in Coventry at the Ricoh Arena by Gary Anderson. He was the only person that really got close to stopping Gary, who's been in scintillating form pretty much all year.
Well, he should have beaten Gary. He had him at 5-2 and went 3 darts and hit the double 2 with the third, only to look at the board and find out that he required 8 and it was Gary that required 4. And well, I've never seen John Part make a mistake like that in all the years I've known him. It's quite incredible, but it happens.
Needs to check the prescription on those specs.
81.
Yeah, Anderson in all his other games, as he romped to victory in Coventry, didn't drop more than 3 legs. Just that one.
60.
Yes, he's playing brilliant at the moment, and he comes up this evening, so don't miss that much.
45. John Uruguay 122.
Well, Part's got plenty of time on this leg. That's why he's not gone down the 18s route. Normally the treble 18 and single 18 were left 65. In the bullseye. But with Mervyn King on 293, doesn't have to go the bullseye route. Just sets it up.
60. John Uruguay 57.
Oh, 268 scored after 5 visits to the board for Mervyn King. I want to forget about this leg in a hurry.
37.
Although John Part's going to make him contemplate it a little bit longer.
59. John Uruguay 20.
Felt like he's almost thrown those darts away, Mervyn King, like this leg has already gone. He may be right, of course, as John Part looks at double 10. Up for double 5. Plenty of room there.
10.
Oh, and still he'll be back.
Well, now Mervyn will be thinking, well, do you know what? I'm sticking a little ton here. Put him under pressure. Was that double 5? Well, he's done better than that. Well, he's missed that big number. He's still going to get 2 darts at the double if Jono don't take the 5s. Now a bit of pressure. Oh, that's a good dart.
He thrives on pressure. He eats pressure for breakfast, this man. So into the lead for the first time in the match. 3 legs on the spin for John Part.
Yes, Mervyn's first dart is pitching lower the treble quite often. And we see him have a little bit of a
83
winch there as he walked back. Perhaps the back problem is playing him up a bit. And again, we're seeing that first dart low. And for a player, that's a worrying thing because you're thinking, right, I've got to over pitch. And then you start over pitching and going above the treble by about inch and a half, which then does not become a guide. It may be that if you've got backache and you're leaning forward, obviously that's going to pull on your back, so you kind of straighten up a little bit. By straightening up, I said about that over pitching, you straighten up, it brings your hand away from the dartboard a little bit further, so if you do the same throw, you're obviously going to go low.
You're not start from the same starting position.
That's right.
And you could see there with Mervyn, he ended up missing high by a good inch and a half
55.
in that previous visit. But John Part hasn't been able to take advantage in this leg so far. That's better for Merv.
100. $58. Revenue require 150.
And it's on. It is still on.
114.
Just misses outside, but he will be back, Mervyn King, as he looks to level the game up at 3 apiece. And don't be fooled by his wincing and his grimacing and his staggering around the stage. This is exactly what he was like, and more so in Veldhoven, and still produced some scintillating stuff. Double 9.
27.
Oh, not a happy man, Merv.
No, that's a big chance for John Part. Now, if he misses, he wants this laying on the bottom wire. Now, he's going to have to go 2 double tops now. That's covered the treble. Yes, he went for the 2 double tops. Although he missed, it don't really matter about that first one.
Revenue require 9.
It's a double 4 for Mervyn King. There it
On the
is.
6th leg, Mervyn King. 7th leg is John to throw first. Game on.
So, first to 3 now.
$58.
Opportunity for King. Can he seize it? That's not a bad lie for a first dart. Hasn't made the most of it with the second.
100.
But the third sneaks in.
$81.
Yeah, the percentage of Mervyn King's first dart being low is very
59.
high, probably 80% of them. And it is only fractions, but it's fractions that win or lose dart matches.
24.
Well, from that 13 darter and a 15 darter and a 14 darter that John Park took to go 2-1 up, he really has come off the boil a little bit.
95.
And Mervyn's not happy with how he's throwing, but he's given himself an opportunity.
$140. $57.
Threw them very quickly as well, Mervyn. Bit of frustration coming into his plate. That 140 has set this up for John Park. Another one of those he'd like. Well, he's got to come back to the 20s to knock them all off.
80.
Well, that'll do. That's a 0 on the end.
$50. John, you require 110.
Oh, all a bit of a mess that for Mervyn King. And John Park will feel he may well have 6 darts from here. He may not need them. Double 16 is what he's looking at. To edge closer to a place in the third round.
8th leg is Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
110 checkout. Substantially better than
57.
anything else he's taken out so far. Mervyn did start with 102 in the first leg. Best display of finishing we've seen so far this weekend was probably Terry Jenkins yesterday. Took 3-ton plus finishes out, including a superb 156. He will be back. He's going to be the second game of the evening session against Jamie Caven.
60.
Yes, that should be a good game. Jenkins has come really on form over the last few months. Won a tour event a couple of weeks ago, which he hasn't won for a good couple of years.
140.
Yeah, brilliant at the UK Open as well, of course. Only beaten in the final by, well, an almost unplayable Adrian Lewis.
93.
The man who's not here this weekend, Jackpot. But he will be in Gibraltar next week as the European Tour moves on to slightly sunnier climes.
100.
That's a better dart from Mervyn King.
140.
Altogether better visit. He needed it though. As John Park knows with a couple of trebles here, he's in a box seat. There's one.
Interesting, he may go 25 here.
130.
Yeah, he's gone for the 25 to leave a 2 dart. He's hit the bullseye, it makes it even better because he's going to definitely get a dart.
81. John, you require 71.
Not a double, maybe double 16. It's going to have a treble 13 now. 18 will leave him the tops. Tops for a breaker throw for John Park. Oh, straight in the middle.
John Park.
Previous leg he took out 110 and he's just taken out the 71 to go one leg away from what will be a good win at the moment for John Park. And he really has got the bit between his teeth now. He's filling the treble 20 up, which may be
108.
the last leg of this match.
Yeah, Looks like a pivotal moment, that last leg.
121.
Sets it up brilliantly, takes out 71 in his final dart, breaks the Mervyn King throw, and then kicks off 180 on his own throw in what may well be the final leg of the match. But
100.
Don't speak too soon. We have already covered off the fact that he came within touching distance of beating Gary Anderson at the weekend, and it didn't happen.
Well, when Mervyn King went 2-0 up in this match, you thought, you know, he was going to run away with it because John was very inconsistent. And all of a sudden, he's given John a shout, and he's one of those guys that, given the chances, doesn't very often pass them up.
140.
And certainly, what a strong leg, a brilliant leg. The leg of a 3-time world champion.
Yeah, up there with his best of the game.
81.
It could well be if he takes this out in a couple of darts, even if it takes him 3. He'll have longer than that. He doesn't need to go the ball route. He's just thinking about that now. That's why he's come down for 15s.
49.
Well, treble 10 he wanted rather. He's hit the 15.
95.
So John Part for a 13-dart leg. A 6-3 victory. It's there, and Mervyn King crashes out of the Austrian Darts Open. And it's the 3-time world champion John Part who makes it through to the final day. Darth Maple will face either Kim Huybrechts or Benito van der Pas. And we have got one more game from the afternoon session coming up for you. It is Brendan Dolan, one of the form players in the world of darts right now, one of the stars of the world.